Hello, everyone. Welcome to Branded. This is the podcast that is going to take you behind the scenes and beyond the brand to give you the clarity, connection, and confidence to build a business that you love. Inside of this podcast, you're going to learn how to pair intuition with strategy, feeling with tactics, and trust with action. I'm your host, Sarah Glenn. I'm just a corporate gal who decided to build her own business, start her own podcast, and show the fuck up in her own life. So thank you so much for being here. And today, what I'm going to do is introduce you to Branded, the new podcast that I'm bringing to you guys. And I'm going to share with you what you can expect to hear and see in the very, very near future. So welcome on, everybody. All right. So I'm very, very excited about the rebrand and relaunch of my podcast. So up until right now, you guys have come to know and love the podcast as Positive by Design. And that branding, that title, all of it served me very, very well. But I am a big proponent of understanding when it's time to pivot, giving yourself permission to play with your business and your brand, and understanding that if there is something that is needing to be changed, it is not because something was going wrong. It's because you've simply evolved and your brand and your business needs to do the same, right? It happens simultaneously. And that's just the coolest thing about this business is that when you really tap into the intuition side of listening to yourself, trusting yourself, making choices from your head and your heart and your gut, your business becomes so fucking beautiful. And you start to feel really, really aligned with it too. And all of the actions that you take on a day-to-day basis, they don't become tied to results. They don't become tied to any sense of achievement or lack of achievement, therefore creating guilt, right? When you're in that flow, in that complete feeling of alignment, you understand that each action that you're taking is moving you in the right direction and moving the needle. Even if it means that you stumble a little bit, you make some mistakes, you have to learn and pivot, all of those things are really, really good. So I know you've heard me say before that, getting an answer that you don't really want is still a win, right? Not everything has to be a yes. Sometimes a no will actually propel you in the right direction more than a yes will. So understanding that it's okay to pivot and you don't need anybody's permission to rebrand your business, to make any kind of changes, to go in a new direction, that's completely up to you. You are the CEO of your business. And if that's what feels right, then go fucking do it. So that's exactly what happened. For about 60 days or so, I have been sitting on this rebrand in a way of first it started with, I think I want to make a change. I think it's time to make a change. The current podcast is feeling a little directionless. Let me really think about this. What direction do I want to go in? So the change that I'm making is not super extreme. It really isn't. The artwork changed. Awesome. I wanted to go in a slightly new direction with the branding. So I changed up the artwork. The actual components of the podcast, what's changing is I'm getting even more intentional with it. I am going to be adding in even more episodes with featured guests because I actually feel personally that it's underrepresented the actual transparency of doing business and what real leadership can really look like. I know that I've experienced in my own journey as I have gotten into the online space, learned how to use social media as someone who did not know how to use it in the first place. And I've come to recognize that not as many people are hyper transparent with their process of how they built their business. And so because of that, there's actually a really large portion of men and women that feel like they can't build businesses because it's too hard. How they see people doing it online is like you're only seeing a fraction of what it actually takes to build a business. And so you only really get to see the glitzy, glamorous parts. You don't really get to see the behind the scenes, ugly, dirty, sometimes I want to cry and because I can't figure shit out parts, right? So the whole premise of rebranding this podcast to being called Branded and going behind the scenes and beyond the brand, that is exactly the purpose. I'm going to be bringing on other entrepreneurs, leaders in network marketing, business owners, and we are going to be talking about the real stories. Where were you before you started your business? Okay, and here you are now at, this journey in your business. What did it take to get you there? And let's really actually have conversations about what it actually took to get there and how many of us failed along the way, but those failures turned into opportunities if you really, really are in true alignment with building the business that you love. And so we're going to be discovering all sorts of different business models. We're going to be talking to other entrepreneurs that are in various types of businesses. I'm not just going to be talking to people that are in branding and marketing. We are going to be diving into all sorts of businesses. And the reason that I think this is really important is because, like I said, there's a huge misconception that the average person can't build their own business because they think it's too hard. They think it's unattainable for them, that you have to just punch the clock and that's the career path for you and that's the only one you can have. You know what? I was of that mindset for a very long time, like for over 30 years. I honestly always thought getting a really good 9 to 5, creating some sort of career, building somebody else's dreams, like that was the best that I could think of for myself. That was the best I could even fathom. But then it happened where I peeked behind the curtain of entrepreneurship and I was like, whoa, this is fucking cool. Like, you mean this has been here all along? Where have I been? Right? Hiding under a rock, apparently. But I'm not the only one. And I know that because I have so many conversations with people that they say they have dreams. They say they want to do XYZ. And then I'm like, well, why haven't you? And they're like, honestly, I don't really know. And that's just limiting belief. That's just possibly not being exposed to the sheer potential of it. So I'm coming to you guys letting you know that I am just a corporate gal who decided, you know what? I'm going to build my own business and I am going to start my own podcast and I am going to finally show the fuck up in my own life. I don't need anybody else's permission to do those things, and neither do you. So I'm really, really excited about what's to come. I have a fantastic interview set up already to come next week. Every Wednesday, you can expect to see new episodes. The majority of them are going to be featured guests that I'll be interviewing, but there'll be plenty along the way where I'll be coming in and I'll be sharing some tactics and some strategy and maybe a little bit of tough love when it comes to building a business online, discovering that brand vision for you and your business, and understanding that a lot of the things that you think are quote unquote important for a successful business are not really the actual things you should be focusing on, i.e., the strategies, the tactics. That's why when you heard me intro this, I said, I'm going to help you pair intuition with strategy and feeling with tactics and trust with action. Because you guys, if you don't have intuition, if you don't trust the way something feels, if you don't trust your own decision making, none of that other stuff matters. It doesn't matter what your content strategies are. It doesn't matter what kind of tactics you have. It doesn't matter what kind of actions you're taking. If you don't trust yourself and learn how to follow your own intuition to propel your business forward. So I am really pumped to be able to bring you guys this kind of information, and just know that I am always, first and foremost, a fantastic resource for you to plug into for any and all of your branding and business questions. If you would do me the honor of rating and reviewing this new podcast, Branded, I have a super special treat for you guys. I'm going to provide a training on brand archetypes. And I'm going to give that to you for free, just for rating and reviewing the podcast that you're already listening to. All right. So, lastly, what I wanted to finish with is if you would like to be a featured guest on Branded, all you have to do is fill out a super, super short form to apply, and then we can hop on a quick call and have a conversation. So, here, if you're watching this podcast on Facebook or YouTube, I'm going to put up a little slide here where you can take a peek at the new branding. This is what you're going to see whenever you go to Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcast. You'll see that we have the new artwork of Branded the podcast. And then if you visit socialjanemedia.com, you can, of course, connect with me. And what I'll do is if you comment or send a direct message after rating and reviewing, just send me a DM and let me know that you've done so. And I will be more than happy to get you the free training on brand archetypes. All right. Like, how cool would that be? So I appreciate you guys more than you know. And thank you so, so very much for being here.